Well, hello and welcome everybody to the Party Invite Show. This is number 77 for us here on the 3rd of August, 2022. This is the Party Invite Show, which is a two-part show. What am I saying? It is a show in two parts. It is one-part podcast, which is what we're going to do first here. That goes to all your pod catchers, where you can even watch the video version on Spotify. So you can see the trailers that we talk about as we speak about them. The second part of the show is the game stream, where we are playing As Dusk Falls once again. Usually we play different games each week, but this week and next week we will be finishing this game because we've had such a good time playing. For anybody who doesn't know, As Dusk Falls is a choose-your-own-adventure game where, in our specific case, you can type in Twitch chat to help make decisions together. So we all have an equal vote. The four of us and every single person in chat, all of our votes count equally. So what we think or want to happen is not necessarily what's going to happen, especially when we've got agents of chaos in chat working together.
Yes.
Yeah. But we're looking real forward to that. But in the meantime, today we're just going to focus on what we've been playing. So I'm actually going to leave the juiciest one for last, Vilos. We're gonna talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 at the end because I really want to pick your brain about it. But let's start. Sav, do you want to go first? Talk about one of the games you've been playing.
Sure. So, as y'all might be able to tell by my shirt, I have been getting real back into Pokemon again, y'all. It is kind of a problem, but it's not that much of a problem really, because one of the games I've been playing is Pokemon Go, which is at least healthy, kind of. So, I've for the first time in I think like 2 years, I don't know what inspired me to pick it up again, but I just got back into Pokemon Go. Right now they are in the middle of a Hisuian event, so a whole bunch of Pokemon from Hisui region are now starting to crop up. You can get Hisuian forms of things like Electrode and Voltorb. So Team Rocket's still trying to take over the world or whatever, and soon we're gonna get Ultra Beasts from Sun and Moon, like the big old alternate dimension creature things that I don't know who was smoking wet when they came up with that, but oh my gosh. So those are going to be coming to Pokemon Go soon. And I'll talk about those a little bit later. But yeah, I've been getting real back into Pokemon Go. It's really been helping pass the time at work, because since I work at the mall, there's like Pokestops all around me. And there's even 2 of them just right in front of the store where I work. So I just literally sit at the counter and just do items.
Tell people
My bag.
when you go off to work, be like, "Oh, I'm going to the gym." Like, wow, I had no idea.
Well, I gotta be hitting that gym with my Miss Mages. Oh my gosh! But no, going on walks around the mall before and after work has actually been really nice, because lately, with everything going on, hashtag Rona, it's hard to be active safely.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have like a little environment like the mall where I could just walk around, do a couple laps in my mask and everything, and it's not like too overly crowded like a park or something like that, or it's not like an actual gym place where people be sweating and getting their moisture everywhere. Ugh. So, um, yeah, it's just been really nice to go back to Pokemon Go and rebuild my team and just kind of fill in what I've been missing out on. Pokemon Sword and Shield has been kind of like dead to me for like the last year. I haven't even. I think I played like 2 minutes of the Crown Tundra DLC. Like I haven't really done anything, and like all of the things that I played on the Crown Tundra, I've streamed, so like it's there. You could see how little I've played of it.
Yeah.
Um, but like Pokemon Go has been really like a really good time sink. I think I played 8 hours at work last time because it was just so dead, and I was just sitting on my phone like do, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm really glad that I picked it up again.
Heck yeah. Well, cool. That's Pokemon Go. Let's see. I could talk about one of my things then. Let's pull this over here. Oh, how do I run this podcast? Just like this. This is how I do it. I played Spelunky 2 again. I actually had a dedicated stream this week. I streamed on a Saturday morning, which was a whole bunch of fun. Haven't done that in a long, long time. So, I've talked about Spelunky in the past. obviously. So the progress I made this time was I was trying to unlock a shortcut, which is, in my opinion, the hardest shortcut to get in the whole game. Every shortcut that you find has 3 stages to it, and as you'd expect, they get progressively harder as the game goes on. Well, I had to do one where you have to take a mercenary with you through 9 levels and hand it off to the woman who makes the shortcuts. So the difficult thing about that is that the mercenaries, if you let them roam around and jump around the screen and attack things and stuff, they will kill themselves. No matter what, it's just a matter of time. They will die. So the only way you can get a mercenary through all that stuff is to pick him up and carry him. But the trick is that when you pick up and carry a mercenary, they only let you carry them for a few seconds, and then they will jump out of your hands. So you have to constantly pick up and put down and pick up and put down this mercenary, and to not allow him to like jump in lava or anything like that. And it's tough. And because that mercenary is in your hands, you can't pick anything else up. You can't really throw rocks. You can't go pick up the pet that gives you health when you save them, or anything else. Of course, if you throw the mercenary as a weapon, which is an option, there's a good chance that he'll get hurt too. But I tried that 3 or 4 times, and I actually got it on the 4th time, which was really fun. Because the first time I ever did that on PS4, it took me way more than 4 tries, I'll tell you that. But we succeeded, and that's a really big deal because now we only have 1 step left. But the funny thing I thought about this was that during what ended up being my real run, the successful run, I can't remember if it was on purpose or on accident, but one way or another, the ghost pot that when it breaks, the ghost immediately shows up. If you break the ghost pot on an enemy, they get cursed and they turn all gray and black. Well, I, one way or another, cursed the mercenary. So as I'm taking him through the level, he looked terrible. I mean, curse doesn't make you look good. But that ended up being the successful run, so I delivered a cursed mercenary to the shortcut woman and beat it, which I just thought was fantastic. On that same run, I continued forward. I got to the ice area, which is exciting. There's only one. Like in every area you go to, there are 4 levels. So you're in the cave, you go through 4 levels. Now you're in the jungle, and there are 4 levels. Blah blah blah. Well, the ice area only has 1 area. It's this tall chasm that if you fall down, technically you could survive. Very good chance that you're just going to fall to your death, though, because there's an abyss at the bottom of the level. So if you're not lucky and you don't hit a piece of land, you'll just fall forever and you're dead. But what it is in Spelunky, there are layers behind the levels, which you can see me in the video footage right now. You can see me in a layer behind the main, scenery or whatever. In the ice area, there's an area you go behind, and it's a very dangerous area with a Yeti Queen and King. And they're pretty tough to kill. They're very dangerous to kill, I guess I should say. But I actually killed them for the first time on PC. So that was a success on its own, but then I went even further, and I got to the next area. I got to the 6th world, which is the alien world. There's lots of crazy technology and stuff in there. We quickly died. That was the end of our run, but that was a personal best for us, and I can really call that a success. Let's see if I can scrub forward to that. It's somewhere up here. If I easily find it, I'll show you. But yeah, things went really well. It was a good time. It was nice to have a full stream dedicated to that because I really got to play around. Chat offered up some rules for me to play by, and it was a good time. So yeah, that's our Spelunky run. Oh gosh, I remember that death where I walked into the cave and immediately had garbage fall on my head. Oops. But yeah, our next run is to take the golden key from the starting area and take it like 12 levels through the game and deliver it to the shortcut woman. And that will be the final shortcut, which will allow us to like explore that alien area and the ice area a lot more easily. So that's fun. New stuff that I haven't really seen a lot before, and it's a big step for me. Like I can once again see visible progress of myself getting better, which feels really good. So
Well, I'm glad you got your cardio in too. You know,
me
with
too.
your carrying of the mercenary, it's hard work.
Up down, up down, up down. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
phrasing. Yeah, it was a
Crazy.
really good stream. So thanks for everybody who tuned in for that. Don't know how often that's gonna happen, but had a wonderful time. I played a little bit before Prey this week too, but I'll hold off. I mean, there wasn't anything more interesting than that shortcut. And I'll talk about Prey after somebody else speaks. Saab, we can either go back to you, or Chris, you can talk about the no clip doc. In fact,
Yeah,
let's do
I
that if
haven't-
you could.
Yeah, I haven't been able to play Diddly because I've been doing a ton of Journey Pro stuff. But what I did get to do is when I was home one late night, I was on YouTube looking through my subscriptions, and it was like new no clip documentary is out for I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like the Hyperlight Breaker development doc that they're doing. And that's from Heart Machine, who made one of my favorite games ever, Hyperlight Drifter, and so they also made Solar Ash. And the first part of the documentary, I'm not sure how many parts they're going to do, but it's usually like 2 or 3 when they do these type of things. And maybe they'll like spend some time with each game, which would be fucking awesome. I'd love that. Anyways, so this like first part of it, they're just kind of introducing you to the people at the studio and who all works there and all that stuff. But in that, they did like reveal some stuff about Hyperlight Breaker, which is the newest thing that they're coming out with. I believe that early access begins in spring of 2023, and it's a sequel in the world of Hyperlight Drifter, from what I understand. But they talk about like procedural generation and how it's in these procedural worlds there'll be like big set pieces that are just procedurally placed in there. So like the level design people are like building like really cool, interesting things, but where that ends up in the world is procedural. And they kind of mentioned a little bit about runs. So it might be if it's procedural and there's runs, we kind of know what we're looking at here with this game. But it's also in 3D, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, big change from Hyperlight Drifter.
Right, and Solar Ash was in 3D, and like part of it, part of this doc that was like, man, I just need to play Solar Ash. I don't know why I haven't played it yet. So it's on sale on PlayStation. So downloaded that. So I'll have some thoughts on that at the next show for sure. But yeah, it's a really, really, really great no clip documentary that talks a lot about Alex Preston, the founder of Heart Machine, all of his issues that he's had medically and all that kind of stuff, and how you are making a game during the pandemic. So it's very, very cool. Check it out. It's on NoClip, their YouTube page. Yeah, it's fucking fantastic. If you're a fan of Hyperlight Drifter or Solar Ash or any of that stuff, check it out. It's very, very good.
Heck yeah.
I saw Cat Lady or something like it. I need it. I need the game now. I need it right now.
Oh
please.
gosh, is that in the massive, massive link that Vilos suggested, or was that in the Hyperlight
No,
Breaker
it was
trailer?
the trailer.
Oh gosh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, the end does
link,
kind of have like
though.
a cat lady in there. It's yeah,
Should
I'm
I-
excited to see what that game is because they also on the like cover of the game it like teases that there's multiple people on the screen. So like it might be co-op. That would be awesome.
Yeah, well,
I'd be very excited.
yeah, Hyperlight Drifter was co-op. If Breaker is co-op, Chris, please wait for me. No fat chance, but
You're gonna wait 3 hours.
yeah, he's gonna be like, Thomas is still asleep, but he's not here in chat with me right now, so I'm playing.
Well, like I said, Thomas, I'm
Save
gonna
file
take
number 1.
Right. I'm going to take a break from Prey because I am at a very difficult point in the game where I keep beating my head against it. I'm like, I'm going to stop for now
Yeah.
and let Thomas catch up. Basically, Thomas, I'm at a point where there are, those little operators that fly around and sometimes come at you and they're really pissed off.
I do.
Okay, imagine those, but they are sleeker and cooler looking, and it says military operator on it.
Oh, do those
and
have
that
stronger
is-
weapons? Maybe.
Yes, they have stronger weapons. It's a beam. It's a fucking laser beam, and it sucks. It is not a good time because they're everywhere. They're worse than I honestly think they are worse than any alien in that game.
Oh, really?
And there's some scary ones. Yeah. And it is brutal. A lot of deaths. I have no more ammo, and I have nothing I can break down to make ammo. So
See, I do
that's
not have that problem. But also because of your okay. Well, actually, the other thing I played is Prey. So we're talking about it. Because the way that you've talked about playing and the sheer amount of customizability in that game, which is staggering, because
Yeah, it's a lot.
it gives you a huge amount of neuromods, the currency used to upgrade your character. But when you look at the talent tree, it's less about like what can I get, and it's more about what order am I going to get it in, because there are so many ways to solve any problem, and that's combat or non-combat. And so it's been really fun talking to you, Chris, going through it, because I'm like, okay, you played this way and experienced this. You've talked about being short on ammo or spending all of your resources on ammo to fabricate bullets, right? Well, I decided because of that, I'm a wrenchy boy. I'm now just going to use my wrench and hit things really hard. And I have, and it's great. And now I'm speccing into a bunch of things that are specifically designed for close quarters. Close quarters. Though if you're in a corridor, then you're using close quarters.
Or, yeah.
Be careful when you travel into Quodor. It's very dangerous in the road beyond.
So that's been fun because I've been upgrading my stuff to just be more of a tank, because if I'm up close, I'm going to take hits. So I need to have enough health and defense, and my wrench needs to hit harder, and all this stuff. And it's been fun approaching the game that way, knowing you really like the pistol that you've been using. And I like the wrench. Well, actually, I like the wrench above everything. The glue gun's cool. I use that a lot in conjunction with it. The weapons are also cool, but the shotgun's nice. But I just love gluing an enemy and then charging up my wrench, getting real close, and just beating the crap out of them.
And giving them a little bonk.
Give them a little bonk, So that's been fun. So yesterday I played another session. I got into a zero gravity area that was really cool. In that area, we flew around a whole bunch. Let's get this playing. Hold on. Come on, big money. I'll get the video up here in a second. Yeah, a big zero gravity, almost a sewer system, kind of. I don't know how else to describe it.
The guts?
The guts, yeah. So you're just in these massive pipes. Massive pipes.
It's the way that things get shipped around Talos 1 easiest. So you use the guts to like move a lot of whatever from one side to the other without like having to go through all the doors. You just go through the guts.
Yeah. So it's been fun doing zero gravity stuff, and I've seen a few new enemies. Like I now have the scanner that lets me scan robots and the Typhon, which are the spooky alien enemy. I scan them, and the more I scan them, I get whatever their powers are. It also tells me their weaknesses and stuff, but it's really nice. Like, anytime you see an enemy do something cool, you know that you're going to be able to do that too. So I saw an enemy that raised the dead, and I scanned it. I scanned two of them after I saw a second one, and that unlocked the raise the dead ability. I still have to spend my neuromods to actually use that ability, but it's now visible to me, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy, and apparently I'm going to be able to hack remotely. I'm going to be able to hack those operators that you talked about and make them fight for me, which is great. In any game I play, I like people to, I like to have minions. In Skyrim, my favorite build is Frenzy, where I just throw the explosive Frenzy spell into an area and everything attacks everything. And I just stand back and eat some popcorn. So I'm looking forward to some of that. But I ended the stream with... I was still in the guts floating around in 0G, and I ran into one of those big spooky enemies. Don't tell me anything about them, please, because I don't know if it's a robot or a Typhon. Because anytime I get close to it, I get murdered. But there's something that's flying through the zero gravity area, and it summons electricity, like these little balls of electricity near me, which not only do damage, but they like stun me for a second. So when I'm flying around in 0G trying to escape this terrifying enemy, I'm getting stunned, so I'm just like basically locked in place, floating through space for a minute.
Don't forget that you have like boosters, like your run button.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you like a little...
So the issue is I kept getting stunned as I used that, so I was careening into the walls. And you get stunned for a second when you do that, so I couldn't get away because every time I'd blast away, I'd just fly into a wall. But very cool mechanics. The physics and the flying around are very fun. I haven't felt controls that felt this good flying around in zero gravity in a game before. I think I assume it would feel just as good on a controller, but I'm using keyboard. But it's just nice because, like, if I want to go up or down or boost, or if I want to rotate, if I want to roll, it's all very responsive. And even if I'm flying really fast and I hit the brakes, I stop very quickly, which I think is unusual for games like this that are just like, whoa, the physics are crazy. So
wacky physics.
Yeah, wacky physics. So this is exciting. We're about to, I think, hit a cool story beat after I get out of this area. I think. I don't know. But it was cool. Yeah, discovered some new enemies, including these ones that you can see now that are just big explosive kamikaze balloons.
I hate them.
Yeah, they're terrible. But you can shoot the glue gun at them, and I have 1,000,000 rounds for the glue gun. So it's fun to be able to use that to actually kill something instead of just like immobilize something.
Do you actually mean 1,000,000 rounds?
10 million. No, I have 500 rounds though.
I literally believed you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what?
No, I have
how he did that.
I have a bunch. They are abundant, but maybe 1,000,000 overshot.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe that's
Cool.
like
Okay.
I don't know, 1,000 times higher than what it is.
I just imagine the fucking character model and it being realistic.
The canister is like a Santa Claus bag, just a massive sack with unlimited glue in it. Phrasing. All right, moving on.
Phrasing.
So that's Prey. That's your weekly update. I'll play that again. We play that every Tuesday here on Twitch, so tune in for that. Chris, I'll be happy to catch up to you.
And my shoulder popped because I'm old.
I've learned nobody can see how I sit. I can almost keep my knees. I have my knees up to my chest right now, and you can't tell. So I usually sit pretty weird in my chair because nobody can, nobody's the wiser. But I've realized I can't sit in the same position for very long anymore because my bones, they never forget. I get up and I'm like, I need a warm-up before I walk to the kitchen because my bones are stuck in place. I have no cartilage.
It's been 84 years.
Then let's go, since we're leaving Vilos for last, Sav, let's bounce back to you. Hear about some Pokemon.
I have, like it's just a problem. It's an addiction again. I can't stop. Pokemon everywhere now. Like, which is actually very apt for what I want to talk about today for our drop. But before we get to that, I'm going to talk about Pokemon Unite. Yes, I'm back in Pokemon Unite, guys. I'm trying to figure out a way to get it onto the Steam Deck because, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't imagine just a better way to play. I like playing it on the Switch fine, but it's obviously not designed for the Switch. It's obviously designed for the phone. So for some reason, it has like problems kind of like with frame rate a little times, and sometimes I have problems like connecting to the internet and whatnot.
Mhm.
Guess what doesn't have that? The Steam Deck. So I am going to see what I can do. I might have to install like BlueStacks or whatever it is that I did. Like when I played in the Japanese beta, it was only in Japan and only for phones because the Switch hadn't come out yet. The Switch like version.
So
And so
so
there's
you
a
flew to Japan to play on
wink,
your
wink.
phone, right?
Yes. via means I played on the computer. Yes. So I'm gonna see if I could do those same means to get it on the Steam Deck and see how that works there. Because I just be really interested in seeing what all the Steam Deck can do, especially since it's on like Linux or whatever, which means it's very customizable as far as I understand Linux to be. You know, I don't really
Yeah.
know a lot about it, but back to Pokemon Unite though, they are. I'll talk about this a little bit later as well, but in the trailer you could see that a whole bunch of new events are coming, new Pokemon are coming.
Whoa, who
And
is
that
that
all-
thick Pokemon? Who is that bug?
He's the
Has
boy.
huge muscles.
That is Buzzwole, and he is a swole bug, y'all. He's an Ultra Beast.
That is a
He be
great
flexing
name.
on them fools.
Buzzwole.
Tegan is surprised, but yeah, no. Rule 34 was on that in like half a second. So,
Oh, yeah.
And if that.
yeah.
So what Buzzwole is a mosquito that communicates instead of dancing like bees do, they communicate by flexing.
Wow.
I'll check it out.
So great.
That's amazing.
But they're coming today, August 3rd. Released, actually, the update went through 45 minutes ago. So you can play now if you're watching now. So yeah, Pokemon Unite. I'm all back into it. The anniversary event is great. I just unlocked Glaceon, who is a like a glace cannon. Haha.
Huh.
Like, but so powerful. Probably the strongest evolution in the game so far. But each one has been getting more like powerful than the last, and I think that's just because the later something comes out, the stronger it's going to be anyway, because power creep is real, and that's true of like any gacha, any MOBA, any MMO, etc., etc.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm just really excited about just full-heartedly diving back into Pokemon again, because I think I've said this before on the podcast. Like the last time I really felt like this kind of passion about Pokemon was when Shining Pearl, Brilliant Diamond came out, because that recreated my passion from when I played Diamond and Pearl. Like I've been playing since it's been in the US, but I didn't really, really, really get into it like Fashizi until Diamond and Pearl. So it feels really good to be like on this high again, especially with all the news that came out today, which we'll get to later. Just get Pokemon Unite, y'all. Play with me, please.
They are putting a whole lot of love into it lately, so
What
it's
they
really
need to do
content.
though is they need to come out with skins that don't cost real money. I have like the currency. It's like it's a currency that you earn that's only usable on skins. They're like black tickets, but they just keep releasing skins that cost gems instead of the black tickets. So it's just like I have like 900 of these black tickets I can't even use.
Just
They're
ain't
like,
right.
"Oh, yeah, just ain't right. Just ain't
There you
right."
go. You might be able to. Odysseus might be convincible.
Hey, I just want to dress the very best, y'all. Just let me use my ticket.
I want to dress the very best. Bow now now.
Oh my god.
What?
Knew it
Let's.
was coming.
Good.
I mean, it writes itself.
Yeah, that was good.
Chris. So yeah, that's Pokemon Unite. Chat if you want to play with Sav and give them people to play with and to flex on, basically, because Sav, you're very good at that game. Hit us up on Discord. I'm going to mention this at the end of the show again, but we now have a custom URL for our Discord, so you can go straight to discord.gg/partyinviteshow. That'll take you straight there. You don't have to fumble with a URL with a bunch of numbers and symbols in it anymore. And that's big thanks to our community, because people have gotten enough Nitro boosts and boosted our server that's been unlocked for us. We literally couldn't have done it without the support of our community. So
Yeah.
shout out
Thank
to
you.
all our supporters.
We no longer have to enter discord.gg/.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then our final what we've been playing is Vilos.
Oh my god.
With
Here we go.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3, baby.
Strap in.
I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna recount every single minute I've played in this game.
All right.
No.
Let's do it.
For real though, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Of course, you guys know that I
Oh,
finished-
get.
You know what? You don't get the privilege.
Oh,
So.
Aw.
I took off Friday for release. I was waiting for midnight because I had a digital pre-order because Nintendo made it clear that they were not going to fucking have the physical copies out, which I got mine yesterday. Yay. And so I was waiting for the digital pre-order to be sent to me from Best Buy, and I fell asleep prior to midnight. It was the worst. But I woke up at about 2:15, 2:30, and Best Buy actually sent my email for the pre-order 5 minutes after midnight. I was like, well, shit. Okay, I'm downloading it. Like, let's get it done. So I was on it by 3 a.m. on Friday, and I got something like just about 18 hours of gameplay in on Friday.
Good God.
Yeah, and I told you guys, but I was like micronapping the entire day. I've never done that like to the extent that I did because I would literally fall asleep for like 30 seconds to 15 minutes at a time. And it happened no less than a dozen times. It was wild, but
Who are
like,
you?
yeah, I felt like felt like
Who
a
are
kid
you?
again. But dude, this game it's so substantial. It's so good. It's better than all the other Xenos. I mean, I have not completed it after 50 fucking hours. I'm guessing you owed at Tyon.
No, I owed that. You said like that's a
Oh.
really bold claim. Like that it's
Oh,
better
no.
than all the other Xenos. That's
Yeah.
Oh.
saying something coming from you.
Vilos already said
Yeah.
that this is his uncontested game of the year already. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it has a
Pretty
cat girl
fair.
with chakram, so like my game of the year too. I haven't even played
you're
it.
right.
and it has,
Like,
Right.
it has a bird girl kind of with angel like
Uni
angel
is-
wings on her head, which is
Uni is Bird Girl, and she's the best. I am gonna make a supercut of things, of stuff that footage that I took off my Switch, and half of those are gonna be things that Uni says, the Bird Girl, because she's the best. Her accent is the funniest, and she's just like this tomboy,
Tom
like
Bird.
real snarky, ridiculous. Yes.
I haven't heard her speak yet, but when I look at her, like when I see her art and stuff, I picture her sounding like disgusting. Like,
No, it's a lot like that.
is it
Like
real?
for real, her voice is so funny. And they give her so many little character moments in this game. It's ridiculous because Mio, the cat girl, as you can see there, is the one that obviously I have to love no matter what.
Obviously.
Right.
She's fine.
Yeah.
What's the little round creature things that
Okay.
have arms?
Okay, so
What are those?
actually,
What are
I'm
we
very
looking at
glad.
here?
I'm very glad you asked about that. So the little round creatures are Nopons. They are little. They're actually the creature that is number one. They're in every single Xeno game. Number two,
Like Moogle.
yeah, and they basically, the way the lore goes, they might have actually existed longer than every other creature in the series as well.
Lol.
And so it's really funny. They've got so much really cool lore. They're really side characters in this game, so far, but they're usually supporter. They're usually supporter characters and stuff. So these two in particular are Riku and Manana. Like Manana cooks for the group because you've got a massive party of 6 people with the occasional hero that makes up the 7th character. You literally play as all of the party members the whole game.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised about that.
Like,
you and I talked about it on Sunday, so several days ago, but I watched Jerp a couple hours ago. I watched him stream a little bit of it, and that was the first thing that surprised me. I was like, oh, all of these health bars are allies that are on the field right now. I thought they were like in Pokemon where it's like, here's your roster, you only have 1 or 2 or 3 out, and everybody else is, invisible, kind of, hidden, and they'll come out when you summon them. It was, no. To me, it reminded me of watching like a raid in World of Warcraft, because your squad is, 7 people? At least that's what I saw Jerp playing.
yeah.
And you might fight one big enemy, or you might fight multiple smaller enemies, or you might fight them while you're also fighting another group of enemies. And there's all this magic and chains and lasers and all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
I will say, as a spectator, the UI, there's a lot of UI, but a lot of games that have this much stuff going on, I usually don't think the UI is very good. I think this UI is a lot, but I don't think it's a bad UI, which is about as high a praise as I can give a game in this genre, because I find this genre to be generally overwhelming.
Yeah.
And again, there's a whole lot going on screen, but for what that is, this seems pretty visually appealing and like complicated, but not unreasonably cluttered, I think.
Yeah, this is the cleanest that the UI has been. Even seeing the initial trailer, releases, it was very obvious to all of us Xeno fans that this was a little different as far as that goes. Like, there has always been a shit ton of stuff on screen and numbers just fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And party members, we're used to having 3 party members from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You had 3 main party members that had a blade with them at each time, so you were technically playing as 6 people at a time, but really it was still 3.
Yeah.
Here, yeah, they've got an updated UI. They've got tutorials out the ass. There are still tutorials 40 plus hours into the game, but in this particular case, they are as accessible as they can possibly be, honestly, because there are so many systems to this battle stuff. So the combat is really where everything comes together, and it's the make or break thing in this game. That's how Xenoblade always has been, because if you just want to get absorbed in a world, fucking play it. Just put it on the easiest mode, because the easiest mode is going to be god awfully easy, because the whole purpose is to progress through the story. Normal mode can still be a little difficult if you don't have any idea of the other Xeno games, because it does take time. There's over a dozen classes. You start out with 6 classes, and then you eventually get the ability to change any of your characters to any available class, and you level them up by class.
It's
you level
not
them up
just
by level. You level them up by class. Like,
so you could change like your tank person to a DPS, or like
and the entire purpose is to do that, because I'm sure there's actually going to be a story element to why that happens, or why you can do that. They haven't revealed that yet, but I'm 100% sure. There are definitely ways to customize just how you play, period. It's not all about just being the most successful you can be. Although, like, there's a million things you can do to be really successful playing the combat.
And when I said a million earlier, I was being hyperbolic, but when you say a million,
it's a lot closer than your ammo was. Yeah.
It's a lot closer to a million. Mr. Jerp was showing me how some characters have like abilities that work together, right? I don't know what's a spoiler and what's not, so I don't totally want to.
Oh, it's definitely not.
Okay. So your characters come together to make, as Jerp put it, friendship robots. And each friendship robot has 2 versions, especially if the 2 people joining are 2 different genders. So you've got friendship robots with all sorts of color and ability combinations, and the ability combinations of even the regular characters. It seems like you can combine them in all these ways. Like, it was crazy. I've never. Maybe this is what Xenoblade's been doing, but I've never seen a game, especially with what you just said about the class restructuring and everything. I've never seen a game with that much customization across your party. Never.
The funny thing is, you can have all these classes, and then you can also the funny thing is that when you change classes, your character actually gets the top half of the outfit. So you can see Noah, the guy that has the red jacket, and you see Mio, the cat girl. You can actually have the same red jacket on Mio if you change her class to what he is. But then technically, you don't even have to do that. You can just change your outfits too. So there's classes that you worry about. There's gems that you can attach to each character that do different buffs and things. And then there's the arts that they do, so certain moves that they do that you adjust. And then there's equipment you can add to each of your
There's so many
characters.
things. It's a million, 1 million
I can't
combinations.
even describe exactly how many things. Like, your playthrough is not going to be the same as anybody else's playthrough.
And especially,
wild.
there are like choices that you make that affect, like cutscenes you see, right? That's what I gathered from some stuff you were saying. So it means that not only your characters are exactly who you want them to be, but that you're actually making decisions that are going to affect the narrative in your version.
The narrative isn't necessarily changed, although there's a couple quests that seem like maybe you could do out of order, which is a little bit weird for Xeno.
So
but,
in your next playthrough.
Oh no, there's going to be a new game plus for sure for me on this one, but no, the story here is actually pretty linear. It's just that the layout of the quests is ridiculous. It's literally if you want to explore a world, play a Xeno game, especially this one, because you'll just start opening shit up. You don't have to go by your next quest point, that you see on the map, the next green exclamation, as you can see there. You really don't have to. You'll just start finding heroes to help you on your way. They unlock a quest whenever you get to that point. You've got to save multiple colonies throughout the game, which turn into major story points. I mean, there's just so much. Most of the game is really just killing sometimes innocent animals, but they're like I was telling you the other day. Somebody was trying to shit on Breath of the Wild and Xeno at the same time on a Facebook comment, and I had to resist.
You're like,
listen, there are over 24 animal enemy types, and they all have variants. And I can't.
because the person was criticizing lack of
yeah,
unique enemy types.
Yeah, and I see in Breath of the Wild, sure, you can say they were limited, but Jesus Christ, you try to say that about a Xeno game, you clearly have not played a Xeno game.
I would
so
love
good,
to hear, I would love to have us chat on a stream sometime about what a dream game would look like if we took the best elements of Breath of the Wild, Pokemon Arceus, and Xenoblade 3, because the like puzzle stuff from Zelda, the mechanics of like, oh wow, I can explore this habitat with all these Pokemon around it, and then I can take some home with me. But then the beautiful world of all three of those games, this has the coolest looking world, I think, of all of them. Like, don't get me wrong, Breath of the Wild, pretty cool, but there's also just a lot of open space, and that's the point. But this game, I criticized Pokemon Arceus, for like, the grass isn't pretty enough, right? And I feel like this world in Xenoblade is what I wish that Pokemon Arceus had, just because it seems like there's always somewhere you can climb up onto, or ruins you can immediately go into. Arceus has a lot more, hey, here's this type of region you're in, and there are different areas in it, but there's not like moment to moment, not as much variability. Of course, I didn't play Arceus. I only watched some streams of it. But yeah, I just, when I see this, I'm like, dang, if this combined its best parts with some of these other games, like, this would be amazing. Like, I haven't played any of those three games. Only watched them. But I would play that combination game. It's like the friendship robots from this game. If I could have a friendship robot that was all three of those games combined, it'd be the best robot.
For anybody watching, the friendship robots are called Ouroboros, and they are mechs because the series creator is like the biggest kaiju mech fan, and ever since the Xenogears and Xenosaga series, like it's been like the main artist and the main designer of the game, they all are just huge into these designs, and holy shit, the character designs are one thing and they're amazing as usual for Xeno, but the Ouroboros designs are ridiculously cool. Like
They are pretty dope.
Think like 5 tiers higher than like Gundam, Evangelion, and Zone of the Enders like mashed together. Super fucking cool, and they're all agile.
Yeah, they skirt
like,
this cool line. Most
things.
mechs
Really cool.
are, like in a lot of games or Gundams even, most mechs are either beefy, thick, slow-looking, they look like Master Chief in a suit, like a bulky Master
Yeah.
Chief. And then the opposite version of that is like, wow, this is a sexy mech that is like
yeah.
somehow wearing a swimsuit, even though it's a robot. But this game, all the mechs I saw, every single one of them looked cool, and they were halfway in between there. They were sleek, but also tough looking. They were cool. And there were a bunch of them, whole bunch of them.
Yeah, there's so 6 characters, so 3 different pairings of characters are the ones that actually get the Ouroboros ability, and it's the end of chapter 1. It's not a spoiler, and it was shown in all the trailers. But
come at me. His
yeah.
Twitter handle is @VilosPlaysGames.
Not like this.
But yeah, they are paired with a boy and a girl for each one of them, and depending on the emotions at the time of who starts the Ouroboros, that person actually, their gender gets the lead on which Ouroboros actually shows up there. So it's really intriguing.
So pair them with all the girls for like sexy robot attire. Got it.
Oh no, if that were the case, it'd be cool. But no, the definitely when the girls are the lead, the mechs are a little sexier.
I think you mean mexier.
Oh my god, maybe I do.
Maybe
Maybe
you
I
do.
I did notice that this game has Witcher vision. That means A plus. 10 points.
So actually, one of the cool things that they added here is a new quest trail system. It's actually the most intriguing looking, I feel like. So if you press like, I think it's ZL and Y when you're not in combat, when you're just exploring, it will put a like almost flamish trail to exactly what to do to complete your quest. It's basically like Forza's like braking system mode, and I have not been using it, but I tried it out a couple times when I couldn't quite understand where the quest tracker was taking me, because the quest trackers in this game are absolutely necessary. They always have been in the Xeno games, but the tracker flame thing is a really cool addition and really good for noobs, because you'll see the exclamation point of your quest somewhere, and then it'll end up being like 3 fucking levels below you or above you, and sometimes you just have to run around. This game, the funny thing about the Xeno series, and especially this one, is just that yes, traversal is not optimal. Like you don't have creatures to ride and shit like that from
Also,
Arceus,
I saw
but
Jerp trying to climb out of the water onto a clearly intended to be climbable structure, and the game just said, nope, this is a sheer edge. No climbing up that.
the funny thing is the game is the levels, the world is so meticulously created. A lot of the times you'll be at a rocky formation and be like, I know I will be able to get up there, but then there's only like one way up because it's a very specific angle and a very specific jump that you're going to have to take. And it's like, I appreciate it because it's very much a world. Like, it's not fucking Uncharted's, I'm going to paint this thing white or yellow or whatever to make it very obvious, go right here. It's,
yeah.
Oh shit, there's a rock and it's slanted, and maybe if I keep jumping on this side, maybe I can get to the right angle. And it's like 6 jumps later and you get to the right angle and you fucking get up that's like 6 feet high and you're like, yes, I did it. And then you can get on with your life.
That
it's
kind of
so
reminds me
good.
of Guild Wars 2. They had like jumping puzzles and platforming like things that you could do to get like special treasure chests and stuff, and it's a lot like that, where it's just you take the specific route and you traverse the terrain like how they intended, and then you get the thing. So that's really cool. I've
Yeah.
always really enjoyed puzzles like that instead of like Skyrim horsing it up the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that's missing is you don't like get additional agility or anything for doing it. That would make it top notch. But yeah, it's just so much exploration. The combat is outstanding. It's definitely not for everybody, but I will be playing this for God knows how long.
A million
40
hours.
Yeah, I definitely will have it done by Friday. I would expect,
That's crazy.
and then I'll,
Take a nap, Carlos,
dude, I'll play probably another 100 hours of the game. I'm
before
sure,
sleeping
just
again.
doing challenges. Yeah, sure. If only I would if I could, because I really want to see the end of this game. Nobody has it's been a lot of stuff has been leaked, but I still haven't seen anybody prove it yet. There have been a few people that are in the Xenoblade community that have been like, yeah, I finished it, and yeah, I'm not saying shit. And so Twitter, thankfully, the people that
No pictures, please.
the people that intended to play through Xenoblade are not the people that were leaking it and being assholes about it. So the community is very, very cool on Twitter. That's one thing I have to say about that. But you'll definitely hear more about it from me, and I am absolutely making a funny reel of stuff because this game has some mature situations, some funny situations. It's very heavy. Uh, you guys know I play emotional games. That's half of my thing.
What?
Um,
We should record a podcast about that and theme
oh
it
yeah,
around emotional games. 2 weeks
and
ago.
all of the games are very existential, but this one just straight up takes you through the gamut. Multiple characters that, content warning, talk about suicide. Um, like people are the whole plot of the game is that people are uh, fighting to live, living to fight. That's the line, and it's because they are two different nations and they fight, and that's it. Because each time somebody from the other side dies, this side gets more to their flame clock, which is what is keeping them alive. Uh, like think of the In Time movie, the Justin Timberlake thing.
Oh,
Everybody's got a limited time,
yeah.
and so killing others on the opposing side gets them keeps their life going, and it's
Wasn't that
ridiculous.
convenient?
Uh-huh.
It's very convenient. I
But
gotta kill you.
it's really exploring like what that means, though. It really explores free will, which again has always been a Xeno thing, but like it's extra heavy here. Um, like a lot of political ways of thinking about it, because uh, your party is comprised of both nations, three people from each side, and whenever they find a way to destroy these flame clocks, basically stopping their way of life, they find some people against that. It's like I wasn't having a great time. Like I was fighting for my life every day, but like I knew how to do that. Now I don't know what to do, and I like it's a really intriguing thing to see. You see both sides throughout the entire game, and some people, like one particular commander, that's a hero character. She joins you because she's a little chaotic, and she wants you to destroy her colony's flame cock. Um, and so she literally fights her own colony, like the entirety of her colony. Like when you find her, she is killing them as you find her, and it's like the funniest, saddest, weirdest thing at the same time. It's wild. It's just a huge character study, a huge like thing. If you're into theory of like film theory or anything like that, you can very much read into how these stories are told. It's just phenomenal, and a lot.
Okay, so Xenoblade Chronicles, thumbs up or thumbs down? It's close.
Yeah, it's all the thumbs. However many thumbs you have, they better be pointing up.
Friendship thumbs, twice the thumb, Aurora Borealis, right?
Yes.
Aurora Borealis, two Aurora Boros up. Anyway, that's
Wow.
Xenoblade 3. Thank you, Vilos, for talking about that. I know you and several people in our community are just binging the crap out of that game. I'm glad to hear that it's so successful. This is the first time I've watched a game like this and thought I would watch more. You know, I just find myself... You've heard my spiel on all this. I just find myself overwhelmed by those games a lot. The UI is usually a lot. So I will probably tune into some Twitch streams of that game. You know, it'll be kind of funny seeing where people are at, like trying to piece together the story of a 70-hour game, 100-hour game.
It's probably going to be 70 as far as the main story goes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll just wing it. I'll be like, so what's happening now? Can you summarize it in one sentence?
Oh my God. Yeah, be that guy.
Yeah.
But
like, and
I think
banned.
definitely anybody that's doing that. One Xeno player that I watch after the fact, obviously, is Sarah Key. She's got a good deal of followers on Twitch. She's pretty funny. She loves the Xeno series, and because it's a very emotional game, she will cry on stream pretty actively. It's pretty great. Fun time.
She cries. Everyone loves it.
Yes.
Well, just like the Left 4 Dead player, not Left 4 Dead, Last of Us player, where it's like starting out with the snow bunny or whatever. Have you guys seen that? It's like the opening cutscene with like the bunny in the snow, and she's just like, "Oh, this is the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen." And then it dies, and she's just like, "Oh!" And she starts crying, and it's just like, "Oh no!" But like it was really good content.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we've been playing. We're gonna do a quick little drop. We haven't done that one in a while. We'll just cover a few of our favorite newsy bits that we've seen over the past week. We'll just rapid fire these bad boys, and then we'll scoot our boots over to As Dusk Falls. But the first one, I want to cover this because it takes all 5 seconds. Remember last week we mentioned that cool Nier Automata thing, or Nier Automata thing.
I'm so sad.
Where it was like, wow, they discovered this thing after 5 years. No one's ever seen it before. Well, it turns out it was a mod.
No! Oh, come on!
We thought it was a marketing ploy by Yoko Taro, and no, that
because he does
not.
some weird marketing stuff.
Well,
like,
I really liked the lore that it was just like, oh, they patched it out. It was something that was like left over from like patch 1.0, and it was patched out later, and you can't access it anymore, or something like that. Because that just
to the person who was playing's credit, I'm pretty sure that person was playing a modded copy that they did not know was modded. I think, if I remember correctly, because I'm pretty sure that person earnestly didn't know that they had a modded copy. Because when I saw that it was modded, I was just like, okay. Like Vilos said, I was like, either it's a marketing ploy or this was just some people flexing on their skills. Well, it was modders. It was 3 different modders. But what they made is still really impressive because it's not like they just tweaked a couple numbers to make this thing happen, you know. They made a completely new area, kind of, in a section of the game, which is, you know, a big undertaking, and it was convincing enough that people thought it was real. So it's still a pretty impressive feat. It's not what we thought it was, but I wanted to mention that because we brought it up last week. But you can find that online. Polygon wrote an article about it.
I'm so sad. It had a parallax zoom. You can't just make that up.
I think you can find that in other parts of the game, though. So that's not, you know... If you want to see that, you can find it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I think that's ending number 4, Sav, so get to it.
Route D.
I have a real quick one that I just remembered as Sav was talking about the Steam Deck. They announced that everybody that has reservations that say they'll be hitting from the fall onward are going to hit. So guess what? Your boy gonna get that Steam Deck.
Yeah, baby. Fist bump. Fist bump. Oh, there. Yeah, boom. Yeah, I'm backwards. So one of these. Oh God, soft. My bones. So yeah, Steam Decks will be arriving quicker than expected for a lot of people. So that's exciting.
Yeah, mine says like October or later. So
Heck
be
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I'll be excited for that. Vilos, do you want to talk about? I don't know if you even saw this because I added it while we were speaking. Do you want to mention what
Oh
that?
yeah. Yeah, Webbed has been out for a few months, but it's gonna have a release. The pre-orders go up tomorrow. I think it's noon tomorrow. Pre-orders for Webbed on Super Rare Games, superraregames.com.
Oh, cool! I can
Um,
pull up a trailer for this right now.
yeah, this game is so fucking adorable. I played the demo of it a while back, and I really can't wait to get it on Switch. And Super Rare is probably the way that I need to get it.
I remember this, Carl. I remember us playing this.
Yeah, I should
Oh
be
my
picking
god,
this
is that a
up.
peacock spider?
Yes, and she is so fucking cute. She has to save her boyfriend from this bird, obviously, as you can see in the trailer. And it is a mostly open world as far as level creation goes. Yeah. The swinging mechanics are amazing.
It's awesome.
Like absolutely wild what they could do with this beautiful pixel art. The web system is just so cool. As Russ says, thwip thwip. I really cannot recommend checking this out enough. It's been on a lot of Steam sales recently, so I don't know if it's on sale right now. But if you are a fan of Switch games,
Got a skateboard.
yeah, there's a lot of cute little things that you can add to your spider.
This is the Spider-Man prequel, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's a nice little puzzle platformer. I just love the arms being up in the air at any given time. You need to check it out though, and Super Rare Games does really great physical copies. So I can't really recommend them enough as well. So
wait, this game has been out for this long?
Yeah.
What? Oh man.
Oh, gosh, it's
we
not even
played a
new.
demo for it during one of our demo streams once, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was
And
an early access
right
for a
now.
while.
That's such a good looking game.
You're like, it's not
You
brand
should-
new, literally unplayable.
If you don't get it on Switch, get it for your Steam Deck for sure. It'll be very playable that way.
Yeah, that does look like a good Steam Deck game. Especially
Let's
with
find out if it's
twin
verified.
sticks. Yeah. Do we have anything else besides... Oh, the last thing I'll get to before Sav, I'll let you take yours, is What Remains of Edith Finch got a re-release. It's now on Steam. I know I played mine on PlayStation. I don't think I realized that it wasn't on every platform until they just did this re-release. I should have looked at the article before I talked about this, but basically it's more available and it's the best version of the game that's out. What Remains of Edith Finch is a game that tells a story that can only be told in a video game. It's one of very few games that I would describe like that because the agency that you have as you play the game is what makes the story matter. Because you're controlling these characters in what's mostly just a narrative. There aren't a lot of like real gameplay mechanics. It's mostly you walking around and exploring this crazy house that your family has owned on this island off of the New England coast. And essentially it's up to you to decide if you think the family actually has a curse or if they're just really unlucky. And I'll definitely leave that up to you guys. But I like that game a whole lot. It's gotten a lot of high praise, and I think it deserves it. But that is more available than it's ever been, and it's a wonderful indie game. So, What Remains of Edith Finch? Go play it.
Oh yeah,
It's really good, phenomenal, and really created that walking simulator genre.
Yeah. All right, Sav.
Pokemon.
Yeah. I actually dropped a trailer in there if you want to throw that up there as well.
You betcha. Do that right now.
So, I don't even know where to begin, y'all. So much was just talked about today, and it came out at like 8 in the morning Central, by the way.
In the beginning.
In the beginning. One of my favorite TikToks, but like, I had to stay up for this because it was just like, there's no way I'm gonna fall asleep and then wake up on time for this. So I stayed up all night working on a secret project. Um, and once it became time, I was just like, I ran to the living room with Bowser, and I was just like, wake up! Time to go!
Grab a
Pokemon!
brush and
It's
put
time!
a little makeup.
So I was talking about Pokemon Go, Pokemon Unite earlier, so I'll get to those announcements first. Pokemon Go, they are getting Ultra Beasts, like I said earlier. Buzzwole, who we saw in that Pokemon Unite trailer,
What a
is going
great
to be coming
Pokemon.
to Pokemon Go as well. Pheromosa and Nihilego rather, and I can't remember, like Blacephalon, I think it's his name.
Mhm.
They are all coming to Pokemon Go. Originally, they were regionally based for the different Pokemon Go Fest that were going on around the world, but during the finale of Pokemon Go, all four will be available globally. So if you missed your chance to, buy a plane ticket, get a passport, travel across the world for like 3
Oh my God.
days, and then come home, now you can not do that and still get the things. So yeah, I think that's really good though, because like when they had region specific Pokemon like Kangaskhan, like during the first summer that this came out, people were just like, we're never gonna complete our Pokedex, blah blah blah. So the fact that they have like the global accessibility now is really really cool.
Mhm.
Pokemon Unite, the trailer that we saw for that basically described all the events, the new events that they're doing, released today. So of course, Buzzwole, the new Pokemon, is coming to Unite. You will be able to purchase him for I think 12,000 coins, AOS coins. Those are just earnable by playing the game. You don't have to like buy it with gems or whatever. You can if you want to, but you could just use AOS coins. I myself am sitting on 42,000, so I think I'll just snatch them up.
Jesus
Wow,
Christ.
that's almost a
But
million.
you're also sitting on what, over 450 hours or something like that? Is,
Is that about?
is that the right number, Sav?
I'll have to check.
I think it's close.
I'll have to check. I really do.
Every time I look at my Switch time, I'm like, where's it at for Sav? Real quick. Oh shit, that's a lot.
we are fully congealed. So they're adding Buzzwole, and then the Pika Pika mode, the Pika attack mode. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like Pika Pika mode. That is a new mode where all Pokemon, including the jungle wild Pokemon that you attack to level up and everything, all the boss Pokemon, they are all Pikachu. Every single one.
Lol.
And the Zapdos
Finally.
at the 2-minute mark that usually appears is a Gigantamax Pikachu.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, like Chunkachu, big old Chungus.
That's the
just
best.
sitting there.
Oh, good Jew.
So cute. So cute. I'm really excited to explore that mode because it's kind of weird to say, but it's like the most balanced mode. Everyone's all the same. So it's just like it really comes down to like your decision making and your timing and your skills in that mode.
Yeah,
So-
I've always said Pokemon just has too many Pokemon. Let's just dial it back to one.
I mean, if you're over 50 years old, you just call all of them Pikachu anyway.
I was about to say, yeah.
as
this is
you play on your
mode for
Nintendo.
Grandma, Yeah.
Yeah.
Except my mom, she knows Pikachu and Clefairy.
You play that on
Oh.
your
I don't know
Game Boy?
why Clefairy, but she knows Clefairy.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, so those two are coming to Pokemon Unite. Boss Rush mode was re-released earlier this week. The first time that we got it was during the very first week of the anniversary celebration. And so Boss Rush mode is literally a raid, like an MMO raid, like an instance. You go
Yeah.
in there with your team of 5 people. There are no enemies enemy players to fight. It's just one big old fat giant boss in a little arena. And it is tough, y'all. It's actually tough. It feels like I'm playing like New World or something. You really have to have like an actual composition to your team. So you have to have like the tank, you have the healer, the damage dealers, everything. You have to like really think about your composition because the boss is hurt. They ain't playing around. Even in casual mode, you could just die in like 3 hits. So like it's crazy.
Lol.
So that's really, really fun. The Glaceon event is still going. For those who don't have Glaceon, you could just play and do the events every day to earn points towards that. But yeah, that's Pokemon Unite. I'm really excited about today's update because it'll, like I said, come out with Buzzwole, who I'm really excited to try out. And it's probably going to be everywhere. But that's okay. I mean, I don't like bugs, but I like Buzzwole. And Pika Pika mode looks like really fun. So
Shocking.
briefly going over. Hey now. I love that. Oh, you were talking about the Pika mode, not me being amorous. Guilty conscience. That's
You
fine.
know.
Pokemon Masters EX is going to have something coming out too. I don't really play that game much,
which one
but
is that?
that's the mobile game that's like you play a trainer in the Paseo region, and it's basically like a turn-based. It's like Raid Shadow Legends, but with Pokemon, kind of. And then Pokemon Cafe Remix got something, which is not important. But y'all, this is the real big thing, which the trailer that is playing right now is describing. It is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet finally revealing so much more new information, and it's just
There's
astounding.
motorcycles.
Yes, we're
Motorcycle
finally at
Mon.
the Yu-Gi-Oh stage of Pokemon, where we Pokemon on motorcycles, y'all.
You're right.
So Koraidon, which is the red one, and Miraidon, which is the blue one, both representing the past and future respectively, are proven. They're shown in the trailer to be our traversal Pokemon. So if you play Pokemon Arceus, then you'll know you travel the regions with your traversal Pokemon, and you fly on Braviary and you climb on Sneasler, etc., etc. Well, Koraidon and Miraidon cover all of that. And even though Koraidon looks like a motorcycle, it's the red one, the feathered one, it runs on its feet. It doesn't actually use its wheels as its like wheels, which I
Wow.
think, I
Does that
kinda
make it
that
like
idea.
a Flintstones Pokemon?
Yeah.
There are memes that
Oh
are
my
going around
God,
doing that.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like every one of your dad joke like thoughts, it's already a meme on Twitter
Yeah.
every time.
You know, we
It's
are
so
we
funny.
are Legion.
So Miraidon has like the booty boosters. You jet around on the motorcycle in the water and in the air, with its membrane. With Koraidon, you kind of like Tahelu, and it opens up its feather wings and you fly that way. So all of the information that we've gotten the name of the region, which is Paldea. Don't know. I'm not really sure what the connection with the actual region it's based on is, because we know Professor Sada comes from Pasada, meaning past, and then Turo comes from Futuro, meaning future. There's my Zaddy gym leader. So a lot of the NPCs have been introduced, but not formally. We got one of the gym leaders' names, who is gosh, I can't remember the name. He'll show up later though. But he's an ice type, and he introduces Satitan. Oh, here they are right now. Satitan,
Hold on.
which is the
Are
Terra
you guys
Pokemon.
watching something different than we're watching on the stream?
What? No, I'm watching the trailer right now.
Oh, okay. Earlier you guys mentioned something on, and I was like, "There's not a video playing right now." So I was
Right.
like,
No.
"Oh, jeez."
So like it's just so much information to just digest and everything, because first of all, we learned that this is going to be an open world. Well, we knew it was going to be an open world Pokemon experience, but the battles and stuff, like the raid battles, are going to be happening in real time, not turn-based, real time. So that can either help or hinder, your teammates depending on the composition and everything that you have. But one of the biggest things that they were introducing in this is, which raid battles will also be introducing, is terrestrial forms. So when you terrestrialize, your Pokemon become like basically Swarovski models. They're like New York and Co., Tiffany and Company gemstones, like super cut diamond gems. It's really, really ostentatious and so flamboyant, and I love every second of it.
It's super extra and it makes no sense so far, but hey.
Yeah, well, the way that they try to put it into the story is that, they did the same thing with Dynamax, where it's just like an energy of the region makes this possible. But
Oh.
whatever. But the interesting thing about terrestrializing is that it changes your Pokemon's typing.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So, for instance, when you terrestrialize, you'll get like the big chandelier on top of your head, which the trailer kind of showed off.
Oh
And
my
that
God.
denotes the kind of typing that it changes into. So the Swarovski Pikachu that we saw at the end of that trailer, that is actually a flying type Pikachu. It is no longer electric. It is flying type when it is terrestrialized. So it kind of operates in the same fashion as Mega Evolution, where you do it once, and like, it's once per Pokemon per battle or whatever, and it changes your Pokemon's typing and then gives you more strategic abilities. So you can kind of use that to like strategize around your Pokemon's weaknesses, which is why I said Odie earlier, Glaceon may get more move coverage than you think in this region, because it could be a new type. We don't know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, after it terrestrializes, it's still going to be Glaceon, the ice type, before that. So, alongside terrestrializing and the raid battling and the open worldness and the multiplayer, the up to 4 players can play. 4 players can play together, co-op style, And there are emotes and everything, so it really does feel like an MMO at this point. When you go through your drive-through Pokemon centers and everything. On top of all of that, there is just new characters that came into play. One of which is named Penny. She's carrying an Eevee backpack, and I think that she's going to be introducing the new evolution. We're probably about due for one. And I think that the new evolution is going to have something to do with terrestrializing. Because they showed an awful lot of it off during that trailer. Eevee in particular. We saw Sylveon in there as well, which is, I think, important. But yeah, I mean, Scarlet and Violet is shaping up to be like the Pokemon game that literally everyone wants. And I say that because a lot of people have been asking for like this open world experience, but also we get a minimap, y'all. That's how you know it's real. It's a minimap compass with like denotation and everything. It's
Wow.
real. It's happening. It's a real Pokemon game, RPG. You heard it here first. I'm just so excited,
See, Sav, the one thing that you have neglected to mention is Paldean Wooper, also known as Pooper.
No.
Oh yeah,
no.
Pooper.
I didn't say that for a reason. I'm sorry.
You cannot leave him out. He is
sorry?
everybody's best boy.
She was trying to squeeze
first of
out
all,
Pooper.
Fido is everyone's best boy. But
Who
okay,
is
so
that?
there's a Paldean Wooper Wooper, like I don't think it's technically an axolotl, but it is.
Oh,
very
it's totally
similar,
an
yeah.
axolotl.
Yeah. Well, because Mudkip is the axolotl Pokemon, but I
Yeah.
guess that could be two.
Oh.
But anyway, this one is poison and ground, and instead of its like periwinkle kind of blue shade that we're kind of used to, this one is more like a maroon brown sort of affair. And instead of like its little antlers, it's got like kind of crossbones, like like a skull and crossbones sort of deal, emphasizing its poison typeness, right?
Right.
So because of its coloration, the internet is the internet, and have lovingly dubbed this thing Pooper.
It is with love, though. Like
I know it's with love.
But it's really funny. It's so cute.
It's adorable, and I hate that it has to live with us now.
Yeah.
It has to live with us now. Why would you do that to that poor little innocent cinnamon roll?
Wow.
Y'all.
And Odysseus mentioned Fido, which is I didn't see what type. I think fairy type.
Fido is pure fairy. And I did mention Fido earlier, just a tad bit earlier. But it's like the new alchemy, basically.
edible Pokemon.
Edible Pokemon. I mean, aren't all of them?
I mean, maybe not lore wise, but a lot of
Yeah,
them,
Onyx seems pretty edible to me.
You know what? People out there eating rocks. One of my friends said Fido better evolve into purebred, and I just lost
Oh my
it.
god!
Oh,
Yes.
that's good.
Yes, I need that. I need that to happen.
Oh my gosh.
Localization team's got this. It's
Well-
Oh yeah, I mean, if we have Palmy and Fido, and we have Lechonk, I'm pretty sure we're gonna make it purebred.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if they left that idea half baked.
Oh.
Oh my god.
And on that note, unless we've got more Pokemon stuff, we should wrap up the show so we can scoot our boots over to As Dusk Falls.
Hell yeah!
So let's see. So this has been the podcast. Thanks everybody for watching. Of course, this is only half the show if you're watching in the future on your podcatcher or on YouTube. We're about to start playing As Dusk Falls with chat, where everybody's going to decide our decisions. Maybe they're good, maybe they're bad. Hashtag Team Chaos in chat. I've seen that a few times. So to wrap up here, again, we have unlocked, with the support of our community, we've unlocked new special features in our Discord server. So now if you want to find that, you just type in discord.gg/partyinviteshow, the same name as our Twitch channel here. You can also find the rest of our socials on our website at partyinvite.games. Any support that you can give us, whether that's click and like on the socials or sending your friends our way, it really helps us out. It helps us grow, and not only does that help us get more visibility and new people, but it's even more fun for us to hang out both in Twitch with all of you in chat, but also I was going to say offline, but it's really off stream in Discord, talking about games, playing games together, sharing news, sharing all sorts of other stuff. one last thing that I once again didn't give you guys any prep for because I only did it for the first time last week was I wanna hear if you guys have anything that made you smile over the past week. I
Literally anything you post on Facebook. If I see it on my timeline, I'm smiling. Like it's uncanny. You'll post like the most wholesome things, and I'm just like,
I've
that's Tegan.
well, half wholesome. I keep my spiciest stuff off of Facebook because yeah. But I appreciate that. No, my thing that made me smile is I went to a big concert. We went and saw Odessa at the Climate Pledge Arena here in Seattle, and I could tell you a bunch of reasons why that was super cool. But basically, that's the biggest show I've been to in years because of COVID, and one of the biggest shows I've ever been to in an arena. The only bigger shows I've been to were at festivals, so it was a completely sold out show. It was a blast. Lizzie and I went to that together after spending some time out on the water beating the heat, which fortunately the heat has passed now, but that was really nice. I really, really love concerts. I don't know if I like music or video games more, and when I go to a concert like that, it reminds me why I'm so into that stuff. So it's just nice to be around such positive energy. All right, and that's it for everybody. That's the show. Nobody else says anything to smile about.
Something that made me smile today was it's kind of a bittersweet sort of thing, but Twitchcon is happening. They just released their tickets for sale today or whatever, and I actually managed to snag some.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Nice.
I still have to save up for airfare and hotel and all that whatnot. But I mean, going to TwitchCon,
Whoop, whoop.
y'all, yes!
Oh man,
I'm so excited.
when
It's
is
like the
that?
first October,
Okay.
October 8th and 9th. I think that weekend. So I'm super stoked about that. The bittersweet, like the bitter part of it though, is that their health regulations are not the best. So they're having it in the same facility that San Diego Comic-Con is at or was at. And San Diego Comic-Con had a mask and vax mandate. You have to show your proof of vax, you have to have a mask, blah, 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 blah. TwitchCon is not doing that as of today. That could change in the future with enough backlash, and I hope it does. But if it does, I decided I'm not going to be the one scrambling last minute to get tickets, So I got my tickets today, and if they change it, they'll change it. If not, I'm like double vaxxed and or I'm max vaxxed and double boosted. So like I'm good. I'll bring my mask. I'm set. That's the most that I could do to be safe. But y'all, TwitchCon, I'm so excited. So that's my smile moment.
Heck yeah, that's very exciting.
Oh yeah.
And Vilos is smiling at all the Xenoblade he's got ahead of him, and then he can hit New Game Plus. I heard there's some cool stuff that you can actually maybe only get after you try the game a second time.
More like New Game Thrust.
Listen, there's a few more character shares I'm gonna have to send you Sav. You'll enjoy. But yeah, Zeno has made me smile quite a bit. Sorry, I was chewing like a shit ton of gummy bears just now. But I will share one funny thing that was yesterday while I was waiting for Bullet Train, the movie Bullet Train, the new Brad Pitt, John Wick looking thing. I was at AMC, and typically an AMC movie does not start until 30 minutes after fucking literally 30 minutes of previews.
Yeah.
And so the screen was absolutely blank at 7 o'clock when it was supposed to start, and we're all just like, whatever. It was a pretty packed house for it being an early screening of Bullet Train. And 15 minutes go by, everybody's like, all right, maybe we should talk to somebody. 30 minutes go by, and a couple people like run out, and they're obviously going to talk to somebody in the office or whatever. Nobody comes back for 15 more minutes, and they say, okay, yeah, something's up, and we're trying to get a fix, and we're on the phones. They run back, and everybody's just chilling. Like a couple people left, but most everybody stayed. And then in that time span, there was 5 minutes where we were waiting for them to come back, and all of a sudden the screen turns on, and it's like it's talking about like Apple, your iWatch, and blah blah blah, like this ad for Apple stuff. And then somebody's Apple ID password pops up on the screen for a solid 15 seconds. Their name and their passcode right there, and everybody's just like, and then it goes away, and everybody just busts out laughing. It's like a crowd of at least 150 to 200 people. We just laughed our asses off, and I don't know if it was an AMC worker doing that, but it was so funny, so unnecessary. But then, of course, we were disappointed when they then said that AMC, actually across several theaters, did not give the right code to the theater, so they had to get a new code to watch the movie, but it would take them 2 more fucking hours to download the movie.
Oh my god!
Wow.
And everybody's just like, fucking seriously?
That is slower than a bullet train.
Yeah, it was the worst, but at least that was like a really funny situation. And I'm a Stubbs member, so it was a ticket that I didn't care about. I didn't like pay extra money or anything to see it, so whatever. But
I really thought you were about to say like, and then the screen came on and it was Brad Pitt on a Skype call. Like
that would have been the best. That would have been better, but it was really funny just having that communal moment with everybody, because we're just like, this is fucking ridiculous, but that is gold right there.
At least it was just like a password or something, and not like videos.
Yeah.
Still, that's pretty rough. That's tough times.
Like it had the dude's name. It was like Ramsa or whatever, and we're just like, okay.
They're like, but yeah, I remember it clearly. His username was this, and his password was
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
The thing that made me smile this weekend was Journey Pro. We had our Raytona Beach Bash show at Crane Brewing outdoors, out back of the brewery there.
Hell yeah!
And it was a great time. It was Walter, one of the founders' last shows. He's having to step away because his wife has some medical issues that he wants to be there for and help take care of a little more than the wrestling business will allow. So yeah, it was just awesome to see all the like outpouring of support for him and his family and everything like that. It was very cool. It was a blast. I think the VOD is still up on the Journey 2 #2 Anarchy Twitch. That's where all of our shows are live streamed. And then there's we'll post them on YouTube and stuff after that. But yeah, it was a really great weekend. I was exhausted. I pulled a 16-hour day that day, and then had to wake up the next morning at 9 to reset up the ring at Agnes for a seminar that we had. So yeah, it was a very, very, very tiring weekend, but it was very good. It went very well. So
heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thanks everybody for that. And chat, if you want to tell us something that made you smile this week, and you can tell us here in chat. Anyone else, hit us up on Twitter. At Party Invite Show. Tell us something, something positive in your life. It can be gaming or otherwise. That made you smile. We want to put more positivity into your feed, not just in gaming but otherwise. So hit us up there. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna hit the BRB screen, and we're gonna follow up with some As Dusk Falls.
Actually, I do have one more final thing to say, speaking of community participation.
Oh, yeah?
So regarding all of this Pokemon news, I am doing a challenge run. It is called a Kaizo Ironmon, and basically you go through the whole game of Fire Red, so like the first iteration, quote unquote, with one Pokemon. You can't heal, and other such challenges. Everything was randomized as well. People who are... Originally, this was just going to be extended to like my subscribers on my stream. You can actually enter a contest to be in the game with a custom sprite and everything made by me. But I'm also extending that to all of our Party Invite community who are subscribed to our channel here on Party Invite. So if you would like to be featured in my first ever Pokemon Challenge run with a custom sprite represented by a custom sprite made by me, handmade, make sure that you're subscribed to one of us, either my channel, Sovereign Sid, or Party Invite Show here on Twitch. And you just might win, being the very best. Or, kick him ass in a Pokemon game. That's been a dream for a lot of people. So
it doesn't get any better than that.
I'll be posting the link to that in the chat. for those who are actively watching now. But you can also find it at Sovereign Sid on Twitter, like one of my tweets there. So yeah, that's that.
Perfect. All right, y'all. Then we're gonna wrap up the show. Everybody. Oh, also, I don't say this very often, but you should go follow Sovereign Sid here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Sovereign Sid. That's Sovereign spelled the normal way, and then Sid SYD. So go do that. All right.
Yay!
Let's play some As Dusk Falls. Bye.
Yeah.